Memories. Right. Hi guys, welcome to Panic and Me. I'm your host Olivia and this is
Deima, and today we're going to be talking about panic attacks.
Yeah, my favourite topic.
Yep.
As in,
we love those.
We love those panic attacks. Because as I've mentioned before, my first diagnosis when I was, how old was I? 16, 17? 15, 16, actually quite young, was panic disorder. And panic disorder is basically a type of anxiety that's specifically centred around panic attacks. So basically it means that I'm scared of getting panic attacks.
Yeah.
So I do things to avoid getting panic attacks, and then I get even more panic attacks because I'm so scared of getting a panic attack.
Never-ending cycle, a horrible cycle.
Literally. So I've had a lot of experiences with panic attacks. And I told I think we both told our experiences before of our first panic attack.
Yes, we did. But we can mention them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you go first.
So mine was in a GCSE exam in a English language, and I was supposed to get an A. So I worked so hard. I wanted to work so hard. Got a panic attack. Had to leave. Was just getting so dizzy in the exam hall. And I'm usually fine. I usually am fine. But it was just that one time that set it off, and that was my first ever time.
Do you get many panic attacks now or since then?
A couple here and there.
Yeah.
But nothing that is out of control, like in that sort of situation. That has probably been my worst situation because you can't leave, you can't do anything, and it's an exam.
Yeah.
So trying to get like I was sitting and writing, and I was like, do I get drank all my water? They were like, didn't even see that I was going like all white and pale. So I was like, do I raise my hand, get their attention? I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna do it. Raised my hand, they came over, and I was just looked so terrible. They gave me more water. Couple minutes passed, I'm like, I still can't do it, so I just had to leave.
Yeah, because your first panic attack is always really scary. Mine happened. My mum went to visit my nan for the weekend because she was ill with cancer. I was at home. I had my first panic attack, freaked out, called Childline, went to the doctors on Monday, and then realised that it was a bank holiday, which was a nightmare. But, it was really genuinely a terrifying experience. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And still now, sometimes when I get panic attacks, if they're particularly bad, I'll still have the urge to call an ambulance or something, because they really do scare me that much. But yeah, there were some points in my life where I've had multiple panic attacks in a week, multiple panic attacks in a day. Get them very, very frequently, all the time.
Do you still now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, since the sertraline, the antidepressant I'm on, has definitely helped. It's really reduced all my physical symptoms. That's the most noticeable difference for me.
Yeah.
But, so that decreases it. But, I have them every now and again. And I think I'll probably have panic attacks the rest of my life. Just because they always seem to happen. I get very stressed if I'm worn down. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time trying to get past panic attacks.
Yeah.
They were the big issue in my life that, I couldn't ignore. I'd have panic attacks at school, at work, at home, walking down the street, everywhere.
In situations that especially school, especially school with all the other kids around. So embarrassing. And then again, getting red. Yeah. The feeling of embarrassment just does not help at all.
Yeah.
Standing up, and my surname starts with an A.
Yeah.
I was right at the front. So when I left the exam hall,
everyone would look. Yeah.
I stood up the whole. How many people were there?
Hundreds, yeah.
100. 200. Yeah, 200. all the faces, and I'm walking down the aisle.
And it might be helpful for us to talk a little bit about our actual symptoms of panic attacks, because I didn't know that what I was having was panic attacks for quite a while, because my symptoms aren't typical. I don't hyperventilate. From the outside, it's probably not very easy to tell that I am having a panic attack. I get chest pain, heart palpitations, which is just where you can feel your heart beating, stomach ache, nausea. Sometimes I will throw up if I'm particularly anxious, feeling hot, feeling cold, feeling tired. But I don't hyperventilate. Sometimes I'll get a choking sensation. But, panic attacks can look different. So, like, what generally are your symptoms?
So, feeling like dizzy, feeling like my heart is racing really, really badly. That's when I know for sure, like, that is what it is, what I'm thinking it is, and that those are the main ones. But thank goodness recently they haven't happened in, like, surrounded by other people in, like, bad situations that I cannot, like, just calm down, go to sleep, especially. And do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, like, you can't escape from the situation. Yeah, absolutely. So I thought we'd talk through, because I've had so much experience with panic attacks, I know how awful they are. Thought we'd go through some techniques on how to deal with them. And actually, the second one I was going to talk about is something that you've done in therapy today, so I'll let you share that one afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll show the first one. So the first one is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which I've spoke about in our self-care box video. But it's a little bit, same kind of thing, but just a little bit different. So like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is like 5 things that you can see. So you'll look around and you might go, if you're having a panic attack, it's like to get you out of your head. So you'll look around and go, 5 things I can see: the sky, the door, Deima, my bed, and like my phone, and like really pay attention to those things. I might go, like describe it in my head to myself. Then it's like 4 things that you can hear. So like, I can hear my radiator, I can hear like
the bird.
So, if you stop and actually listen. I think it's then 3 things you can touch. So especially 3 things that feel different to you, that can help ground you. And then I think it's 2 things that you can smell. So if you have any perfume or a candle or something, or cooking. And then either it's 1 thing you can taste or 1 thing you appreciate about yourself. Aww. So if you have something like that you can eat in the room, you can, obviously taste that. But if you don't have anything to eat, then you've just got to name 1 thing that you appreciate about yourself. And if you go through those 5 stages, that can be really helpful to ground you. And we'll link in the description like a page on how to do it. And some of them say different orders, like different senses, but I found that one's really helpful because neither of us find breathing helpful, do we?
No, I think it just sets me off even more.
It does, yeah. I don't find breathing exercises helpful. They are to some people, but they'll be the ones that are most commonly suggested.
To me, it feels like, okay, I am taking that deep breath in, and then I'm like, oh my god, what if I can't breathe out? And it's like, that's it, I'm going to stop breathing. That's the kind of fear. I just like to have my relaxed breathing, how it normally is.
Yeah. And I mean, like, with the choking sensation I get, deep breathing doesn't really help because it just makes me feel like I'm choking more.
Yeah.
So, breathing doesn't work for everyone. Like, people tout that as, like, the way to deal with. Yeah. But there's so many other methods. So these ones that we're talking about aren't about breathing. So I find the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 really good. I also find progressive muscle relaxation good. So go on, teach us what you learned today.
It's where you the only way to actually relax your muscles, because we don't, like, right now we're pretty relaxed, but we don't feel relaxed. So the way you do it is like tense your muscles. So you can work from like your toes up to your fingers, your head, or the other way around. So you tense your toes for like a couple seconds and then relax them.
Yeah.
And that's a proper good way to feel the relaxation.
It is really, really good. And you focus on like tensing the muscles and untensing them. I know that like I keep a lot of my anxiety in my chest. So if as just like a quick activity when I'm out, if I'm starting to feel that I'm a bit anxious, is I might just squeeze like where I hold my anxiety and then kind of let that go rather than the whole body.
Yeah, because it's like relaxing.
Because everyone holds their anxiety in different locations, and you might notice that like you might hold it in your shoulders or in your fists, and it's like kind of, you know, releasing that. But yeah, that's really good. And again, we'll link in the description like a video or something on how to do that, and it's a really great technique. And then the last one I've got is kind of what you said, which is literally just sometimes it's okay to just lie still until the panic attack's gone.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about this. It's like, oh, you have to breathe or you have to use these techniques.
Yeah, you have to do something.
You have to do something. But actually, sometimes it's just lay down in the dark,
do nothing,
where you're safe, and just let it go. Because it will finish. It will end. You know, if you're watching this video, you're likely to have had one before. And if you have another, you got through that. And if you have another, then you know you can get through it because you got through it before. I used to have a weighted blanket. I would lay down, wrap myself in my weighted blanket and just lay there until it had gone. I knew in 15 minutes time I'd be feeling a bit better.
I love to just go to sleep, just take a nap and then wake up, feel like a different person. And
and I mean, that's like, obviously because you don't get panic attacks very often, then that's probably okay. But I did get into a situation where I was sleeping all the time, so that I wasn't, whenever I got a panic attack. So it depends how frequently you get them. But that kind of goes like onto my next, actually, like I was going to talk a little bit about preventing panic attacks, but kind of the next point really that I'll say is if you're having frequent panic attacks, please go to your GP, think about CBT, think about medication, because, you know, if you're watching this video and you were in a state like I was, you know, where you're having panic attacks, kind of, you know, multiple times a week, even like multiple times a month, and thinking, oh, like they're getting more and more frequent, then please go to your GP because they really can help. You know, if I was against medication, well, not against medication, but I didn't want to start medication at first, and that's fine. But if it's on your doctor's radar, then they can, you know, give you the best advice on what will help. And yeah, and then kind of the last thing I was going to say was about kind of like preventing panic attacks. And a lot of that is literally just generic advice, like exercise, avoid caffeine, go make sure you're sleeping enough. And I know that it's a little bit like
that all the time.
But if you found that you're having like more panic attacks recently, it might be helpful to look at, has something changed? Have I stopped looking after myself in certain ways?
Drinking not just like coffee, like energy drinks.
Yeah, because, you know, I used to feel like, oh, I hear this all the time, sleep, exercise. But actually, you know, if something has changed in your life and you started having panic attacks, that might be the cause. So, you know, you could have a look and, you know, see. But again, you don't have to do this on your own. If you are really struggling with panic attacks, please get some advice from your GP.
Definitely.
Because it's not nice. I know how horrible it is. Deima knows how horrible it is. And yeah, you deserve the support that you need. So, well, thank you so much. I think that's everything. But yeah,
Thank you.
Brilliant. Bye, guys.
Bye.